right? Children, listen to me, right? We are starting grade 11 science lesson electronics. Uh, First subtopic is electric conductors, right? I have written the meaning here. Let's discuss first what is the definition for electric conductors. Materials that conduct electricity are known as electric conductors. What are the examples? Metals like sodium, copper, zinc, iron. They are examples for electric conductors, right? Why these materials were able to conduct electricity? What is the reason? They have free electrons. How free electrons generate here? Think Pudha, sodium, right? Sodium is exist as iron, right? How sodium becomes an iron? It have to remove electrons and make unipositive ion, right? So like this, there is a feature of all metals become positive ions by removing electrons. So they able to have free electrons, and here I have given example copper. Copper is a material which remove two electrons and become two positive ion with charge of 2, right? So these free electrons let this material to conduct electricity using those free electrons. Understood that part? Right. Then we are moving to next subtopic, electric insulators, right? The definition for electric insulators is materials that do not conduct electricity. That means they cannot do this part. No, they do not conduct electricity are known as electric insulators. So they do not have free electrons because they are not become positive ions, right? Then what are the examples here? Glass, plastic, rubber. They are not metals, no. They do not have free electrons, so they cannot conduct electricity. Our next part is semiconductors. The meaning of semiconductors I have written here. The definition for semiconductor is they cannot conduct electricity totally, no. So we can say that materials that partially conduct electricity are known as semiconductors. You understood what do you mean by partially? Partially means this one, right? So they cannot conduct electricity completely. What are the examples I have given here? Silicon, germanium. Where can we find silicon, germanium? They are in the fourth group, right? Below carbon. So they have the same features like carbon, right? You understood that carbon is making four bonds many times, right? And every time, no? Example, you know, already know carbon dioxide, we write it like this, no? Carbon make four bonds like this, right? So like this, silicon in the same group, no? So silicon is able to make four bonds around four other silicon atoms using two electrons like this into one bond. Here, this lattice you can observe only in 0 Kelvin temperature. When this lattice obtain temperature or increasing temperature, that means it gains heat. No, when it gains heat, it have another kind of energy, so it can convert that energy to any purpose. Here in this case, that energy is used to what? To remove this electron in the bond, to remove this electron, and one hole becomes here and the electrons removed and it becomes a free electron. Then what happens? These free electrons are made all, not everywhere, in many places of this lattice. So when increase in temperature more, that means when we increase temperature, the conductivity of semiconductors also increase. Then here in this case, these lattice have two type of carriers. That means what is the meaning of carriers? Carriers are the things that help to conduct electricity. Here the carriers were only free electrons, but here you have two type of carriers. One is free electrons. You already know about free electrons. Here you have another one called hole. How these holes can conduct electricity? This hole this hole can gain electron from the other side, and this place become hole again. Then again this electron can pass to this hole, and this place become a hole again, right? Like that, holes come to this side, vice versa, electrons move to other side. That's why we talk about two carriers here as electrons and holes. Understood this part? Right, nice.